Hello world, it's John Pinto here with Nick Cairnes from 10th Street Distillery. How you doing, Nick?
Doing quite well. Very happy to be here today.
Very good.
Very happy to talk about whiskeys.
I love talking about whiskey. As a matter of fact, I stumbled upon 10th Street Distillery on the internet, and what got my attention is that you import peated barley and make your American whiskeys out of that. Is that an accurate statement?
Yes, it is largely a generally accurate statement. For our peated single malt, we bring in that barley that has been toasted with peat. That peat that has been used to toast that barley is actually sourced from the Highland region. We find that to be a little bit more approachable, a little bit softer than what you find with regards to the Isla region by comparison. You know, with what you get with your Ardbegs, your Lefroigs, we find that it works with the water that we end up using here quite nicely. So if I could...
yeah, why don't you grab a couple of bottles and we'll do a little Vanna White explanations. Why don't you grab that first bottle, hold it up.
Here is our California Coast. This is going to be a blend. It incorporates some of our unpeated single malt, which is 100% American barley. All of that barley having been grown predominantly up either in the Washington or Idaho area. It also incorporates some of our peated single malts as well, so it has a little bit of best of both worlds in one glass, and there's some light whiskeys that go in there to make it very nice. It's great by itself, but it's really nice for also a highball, or what I like to affectionately call a California mule.
And I understand that your pricing on that particular bottle is pretty accessible?
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, you can find that retail-wise anywhere from about $35 to $42 a bottle.
And I also understand that you have a tasting fee when you come in here of $50, and you will apply that $50 towards the purchase of any bottle?
No,
is that
so
accurate?
Actually, what it is a $15 tasting fee, but if you were to buy a bottle, that tasting fee will be waived at that point.
Yes, that sounds like the same thing, just a little different. Okay, and here we have the...
This is our STR. This is our 100% unpeated, malted American barley. And again, as I said, all that barley having predominantly been grown either up in Washington or Idaho. STR, it stands for the barrel treatment process that we have. We initially came to the market with a peated single malt, but we wanted to produce a single malt that was approachable for your average American whiskey drinker, especially people coming from a bourbon-centric background, much like myself. So this goes into an ex-bourbon barrel, but before that barrel gets filled, that actually gets shaved, toasted, and recharred on the inside of it with a char number of 4. So it kind of brings out some of those original oaky characteristics, much more in line with what you would expect with the bourbon. However, it still stays true to its roots with it being a single malt. And this one here is the one that launched it all. This is the peated single malt that very first came out in 2019. The very first distillation of this was back in 2017. All of this barley, as we were saying before, has been toasted with peat over in Scotland, and all of the peat that we use are actually, what I really should say is all of the barley that we use that has been toasted with peat has actually been customized to us. So all of these grains that we're using for our peated single malts, you will not find them being in usage of any other distillery on the planet, whether that be in Scotland or anywhere else in the world.
Okay, so here we have...
Here is our distiller's cut. And the distiller's cut is essentially, you know, an homage to our peated single malt. However, the difference with that is where we take our cuts with that and trying to concentrate the amount of flavor and the amount of peat that is initially and fully expressed, not just on the nose, but the finish as well there. The next one in line here is one that's very special and very near and dear to my own heart. This is a special summer release that we have. This is our peated single malt. However, in addition to that 1.5 years of ex-bourbon barrel, it goes and sees an additional 6 months in ex-Pinot Noir barrels. We get those barrels from Testarossa, which is a very nice
Los Gatos.
winery located, yes, over in Los Gatos. They're very well renowned for not only their Pinot Noir barrels, but as well as their Chardonnays and all their other Burgundy varietals. And then you came on a very special day in which you get to see this pulled out on the bar right now. And this is a single barrel cask of RSTR, which is an unpeated single malt. This is barrel number 158. By happenstance, there ended up only being about 40 barrels that were going to come out of that. And something that I can show you to demonstrate just how special this is in terms of the concentration is the difference in coloration between these. So this is the same age in terms of how long it was rested in those barrels. However, this one saw a little bit greedier of an angel share, so to speak. So it left a little bit more condensed richness, in all honesty. So that's why we call it the angel share rather than the devil's cut.
So Nick, tell us, repeat again, what is the address of the distillery? When are your hours? What is your phone number and your website?
So we are down here on 10th Street, just north of the fairgrounds, 2331 South 10th Street. You know, right now we are typically here Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. If you call ahead and go ahead and place an order for a bottle or let us know that you're coming down, we could possibly arrange for an impromptu tasting and tour for you. Or, you know, in the next month, or actually what I should better say is in the next 2 to 4 weeks, we will be opening up our tours again to the public on Saturdays, in which case you can go online and you know, schedule your reservation, but we will allow for walk-ins too.
Very good. And are you available for private parties?
Absolutely. Just, you know, reach out to us online, and we're more than happy to accommodate here at the distillery, and we're also happy to go out and accommodate at other venues and locations.
Now, since I am a Lagavulin 16 guy, I like them peaty, smoky, leathery with a little honey and vanilla notes. Remind me, which 2 bottles did I just buy?
I mean, in all honesty, you should buy all of them. But, you know, if
but which ones did I buy?
If you were to go along the line of looking for that more peated variety, I highly recommend that flagship of the peated single malt that we have. You know,
okay.
It is kind of a hallmark of everything the distiller's cut. If you want to get into something slightly peatier, something that is a little bit more vegetal and sweeter in nature, but while it's here, definitely try to get that wine cask finish, because that one is double gold. It's best in class, and well as best craft distilled whiskey in the New York World Wine and Spirits Competition.
Well, let's see. Let's see. I can't even wait to see what I did buy. I got the distiller's cut, 88 proof, and what was the other one that I got?
We went for the gold. We went for the double gold with that one.
Oh, the double gold.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
which
and Forbes was very happy to write us
Forbes
a very kind article detailing the results of that competition, which we were very well represented in, and are actually our California Coast, which is our blend here, which has previously won a gold in Whiskies of the World in 2020. It also took home another gold in that New York World Wine and Spirits Competition.
Very good. Well, this should last me for a couple of weeks with a couple of good cigars. There you could see, it's in the bag. Very good. Nick, is there anything else you want to volunteer before we finish our video?
Would love for everybody to come down and check us out. Look forward to meeting all you guys, and couldn't thank you more than enough for coming down and visiting us today.
And I give it a hearty endorsement. I have been here. I tasted 3 or 4 of them. Very nuanced, very elegant, very restrained. So here you have Nick and John signing off. Bye for now.
Cheers.